Welcome back to Sip to Tally Films. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and on the final week of the Sip to Tally preseason power rankings, we start off with team number 5. But before we get into team number 5, let's recap Friday's episode with team number 6, and that was the Los Angeles Rams. And to recap their position rankings, quarterback 7, running back 27, wide receiver number 1, tight end 28, O-line number 1. Defensive line edge 3, linebackers 21, cornerbacks 12, and safety 12, giving them a total score of 12.44444. Almost like Moses Malone. 4. But let's get into today's team. Now, last year when I was doing this, and again, I've done it the same way as far as ranking the positions and not really knowing who's where until I click the sort button after I finish ranking each and every position. And sometimes when you do that, you see teams in different positions that you didn't expect them to be in. This team was in that position last year, even though there were a couple of this year that kind of shocked me for real. This one really shocked me. And then when the episode came out, people were like, whatever, you don't know what you're talking about. It's crazy. No way. And partially because I know most of my audience is Ravens fans, and this team last year was the same number as the Ravens. They had came out with the same final score, so people were like, no way, this team's not gonna be that good. They ended up at the end of the year playing for the number 1 seed in the NFC in a game that never had 2 14-team wins. 2 teams with 14 wins playing for in a regular season game. So needless to say, even though my system has some flaws and needs to be tinkered a little bit, it works fairly well. And your number 5 team is the Minnesota Vikings. A surprise last year. They look to build on that this year, even though they lost a key piece to it. But let's see what they drafted to try to get back to a 14-team win and compete for the NFC title this year. So who they drafted? They didn't have very many draft picks. They only had 5. So they started off with Donovan Jackson, the offensive lineman from Ohio State. Came back with wide receiver Ty Felton from Maryland. In the 5th round, Tyron Ingram Dawkins, a defensive end from Georgia. They had 2 6th-round picks, Kobe King from Penn State and Gavin Bartholomew, a tight end from Pittsburgh. Now let's take a look at each depth chart and who's in each room, and then I'll rank them and show you where they're at. All right, starting with the quarterback position. Now they drafted this guy last year, but he got hurt, didn't play at all. So this is technically his rookie year on the field, but his 2nd year in the system. So he would be a redshirt rookie, so to speak. And that's J.J. McCarthy with Sam Howell backing him up, Brent Ripken as a 3rd, and Max Bromser as a 4th. We don't know what we're going to get out of McCarthy. I'm sure they have some semblance of what they're going to get because they see him in practice every day, but we haven't seen him. So we don't know what we're going to get out of him. We know what he did with Michigan as a, I was going to say game manager, but he made some throws. I don't want to put that stigma on the kid before he even get in there. But as the quarterback of Michigan, I just leave it at that. Don't know what he's going to get in Minnesota, but he's projected to be the starter, and we'll see how that goes. And to the running back room, they got a running back that I really, really like as far as his game and his personality, and that's Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones can run the ball inside, outside, can catch the ball. I think Aaron Jones is one of the most complete backs in the NFL as far as doing it all and doing it at a high level. Also, they got Jordan Mason from San Francisco, so that really helps the backfield room, and Ty Chandler, who can run. That'll help. That'll give them a different look as well. You got 2 guys that can do inside, outside stuff, and then you throw Chandler in there who can certified fly. At the wide receiver position, they have one of the best in the game, Jordan Jefferson. Addison came along last year, was solid. Is a solid number two, And then Naylor as a number 3. And if I'm looking at all their backups, they got Rondell Moore. They drafted Ty Felton. Those are probably their 2 top backups. So a solid receiver room, but Justin Jefferson is clearly top 1, top 2. Dare I say top 3? No lower than that as far as receiver in the NFL. Then you go to their tight end room. And in my opinion, their tight end room is elite. TJ Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, both of them can catch the ball. But what makes them elite to me is both of these guys catch the ball at a high level, but they also block at a high level. Both of them. And when you don't have a lot of tight ends that still block in the NFL, and both of these guys do both at a high level, and they're on the same team, in the same room, which really impresses me a lot. So I like their tight end room as well. Then you look up front, you got Christian Darrisaw, the rookie Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, and Brian McNeil. It's a solid up front group, and this group carried them as much as they could, but they had a stationary quarterback back there. And I will say this, McCarthy can move some. So some of those sacks that were taken last year, whether it be on the quarterback or the O-line, McCarthy will get out of some of those situations. Now, will he make a play down the field? I don't know. But he'll use his feet to get out of some of those situations. But let's see how I have him ranked. And you let me know if I have them too high or too low. Again, this year, a lot of people said they were too high. But those 14 wins beg to differ. Quarterback room, I have them 22nd. Now, it's self-explanatory. We don't know what we're getting out of J.J. McCarthy. We have seen Sam Howell as a starter, and I don't want to say trash as a starter, but wasn't good. He was a starter. He won some games. And so having him as a backup really, I'll tell you this. Sam Howell throwing to Justin Jefferson, Addison, and Naylor with the tight ends might not be a bad option. He's going to turn it over, but the ball going to get thrown deep and at a high clip. I'll tell you that. So if McCarthy don't work, Sam Howell can put together some stuff for him. May not be 14 wins, but they can be competitive with Sam Howell as a backup. Running back room 9. I really like the running back room. Wide receiver 13 on the strength of Justin Jefferson. If Addison steps up, they'll definitely jump into the top 10 next year. Or a third receiver. It don't have to be necessarily be Addison. It could be a third receiver jump up and be better and put them in the top 10. Tight end, I have them 2. Offensive line, have them 14. Go to the defensive side. They're a base 3-14. So what they're looking at is Jonathan Allen up front. And again, nickel up there, you know why. Jonathan Allen up front. Harrison Phillips as the nose tackle. Javon Hargrave they picked up as the other defensive end. The outside linebacker is Jonathan Grenard, sack machine. The other outside linebacker is Andrew Van Ginkel, who's a certified nutcase on the football field. So I really, really, really like their edge. Van Ginkel can do any and everything. Rush the passer, drop, play the run. He can do it all. And I really like what I've seen out of Van Ginkel the last 3 or so years. The last year in Miami and the couple of years here in Minnesota. Their linebackers. Ivan Pace Jr. has really, really gotten better. I like his game. I like the way he flies around. Brian Cashman. I'm sorry, Brian. I went way back. That's the old Houston Texans. Blake Cashman. Another solid linebacker. So their linebacker crew is solid. Not great. Definitely not bad, but solid. When you look at their cornerback room, you're looking at possibly Isaiah Rodgers, Mekhi Beckman, and Byron Murphy Jr. as the slot. Notable backups for them: Jeff Okudah, who may not start; Tavier Thomas, who may not start. So they got about 5 guys I feel like they can rotate in at cornerback and get reps. So that makes their cornerback room have some significant depth. Go to safety. The ageless Harrison Smith, also back there with Theo Jackson or Josh Metellus, whichever one wins that job. And that's their safety room. I mean, you know what Harrison Smith is. He's going to bring you a hard nose in the box, knock your head off type game, and can not as good deep because he's older, but he's still, veteran leadership, going to play hard. He's going to give you everything he got and occasionally make splash plays from time to time. Let's see what I have him ranked, and you let me know if it's too high or too low. The defensive line edge group, I have them at 3. Linebackers, 15. Cornerbacks, 10, mainly because of depth. And then safeties, I have them at 11. So when you take all those numbers, add them together, whether you agree or disagree, and please let me know, Divided by 9, you come out with 12.22222. And that makes the Minnesota Vikings our number 5 team on the Sip to Tally Power Rankings. Again, we got 5 today, 4 tomorrow, 3 Wednesday, 2 and 1 Thursday. Because once we do 2, you'll know who 1 is. So I'm going to give you both of them Thursday. Again, I appreciate everybody, especially those that haven't watched every episode. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, whether you watched it on Sip to Tally or more Sip to Tally. I appreciate you guys. This is the final week. This is always a culmination of the summer because it always ends right around the time I go back to work and the time football is starting. So you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Like the video. Subscribe if you've not done so. And hit that bell so you can be notified. And enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace.